Hello there. Welcome, YouTube. I've been scared for a long time to put out artwork of any kind. Anything that feels like it was made purely by me and by no one else. Anything that feels like it is a true representation of my own craft and my own passion. And that makes me feel sometimes like maybe I'm not a passionate person, because if I was truly passionate about the things that I'm doing and about the art that I'm making, then I would share it, right? The answer to that is yes, in a lot of ways, but it's not that simple for me, and it's never been. There's been long periods of time where I've had to stop creating for a while to figure my shit out. I don't think anyone can expect to be creative all the time. Of course, it's going to ebb and flow, and it's going to change, and you can't always make things all the time and always share things all the time and feel good about it, but I've always been afraid of it. And this YouTube channel is really more for me to stretch my legs and try to just keep putting things out there, but not to put too much pressure on myself either. In order to be an artist, you have to share your work. It's a complicated question. I think in some ways, no. All you have to do is make art to be an artist, right? But I found that after years and years of making art and not sharing it with anyone and just hoarding it, and I have hundreds of songs and demos that I haven't released or put out or anything. I call it the vault. And eventually it just depressed me thinking about that and knowing I have all this music that no one's ever heard. Is it narcissistic of me to want people to hear it? Maybe. Or maybe it's just that I'm scared of sharing that part of myself because it feels really vulnerable. I'm not sure exactly what it is, and I'll be honest, I've been in therapy to try and answer those questions for myself, but what I just try to do is share a little bit here and there as much as I can, and this channel is part of that. It's a little easier for me to share on a platform like this because this is not something I'm familiar with. I don't know how to make videos, I don't know how to edit videos, I don't really know how to shoot videos. I'm learning, but it's still so new to me that I feel like I'm allowed to make mistakes. When I'm writing songs and making music, a lot of the time it feels like I'm not allowed to make mistakes because I went to music school. I've studied music for all these years. I've honed my craft for years, and I've been in bands, and I've worked for different musicians and composers, different clients, all kinds of people. And it feels like anything I put out has to be this amazing, amazing thing. And that can be a lot of pressure. And I think that kind of plays into the perfectionist mindset, being perfectionistic. And I realized over time that being perfectionistic is kind of one of the most detrimental things to an artist. It's probably the reason that I haven't shared a lot. I think perfectionism is really just a synonym for low self-esteem, low self-confidence in some ways, It's really just like a word that we invented to normalize that mentality of being afraid of sharing. And I know I've suffered from it tremendously. So shooting videos, talking to a camera, shooting things around my house feels a little easier to me. It feels a little lower stakes because it's not something I've put too much time into. And it just feels fun, and it feels like something I want to do. And it helps me to share and to talk about these things and be somewhat vulnerable in a public setting, even if no one ever sees it. So that's kind of the goal here. And I know I've talked about some of that before, but I wanted to touch on it a little bit more here. That being said, my goal kind of with these videos is to sort of have them come out every couple weeks and sort of just kind of highlight a couple different moments throughout my week of things I did, and maybe music I made, maybe places I went, maybe little things I added to my office, or little projects I did, maybe even some clips of me gaming or doing random stuff or reactions. I think I spent so much time consuming content, consuming media, that it was only a matter of time until I started to do it for myself and just kind of try it out for fun. So that's what I'm doing, in addition to continuing to share and just put stuff out. It doesn't really matter what, and it certainly doesn't have to be perfect, but that's the point. I also got a plant for my room. I love the plant. It sits above my beanbag. It's my first hanging plant I've ever gotten. I'm pretty excited about it, not gonna lie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the gist.